it's Liza and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 tips for dealing with a bad grade. So this includes tips for actually dealing with the grade itself and also ways that you can go about improving that grade. Now, before I get into this video, I want to stress that even though it is very grade focused society that we live in, grades do not define your self-worth, and there are more important things that you can think about, such as feedback or ways that you can improve. So just keep that in mind, and just because you're not achieving A stars and A's doesn't mean that you aren't doing well. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So my first tip for you is to give yourself time to deal with your bad grade. So there'll be so many people that think as soon as they get a bad grade, they must go into manic studying and really get down and revise because that's the only way that you can get a better grade, which is not true, and that's gonna probably make it worse because you'll still have that bad grade in the back of your mind, and you really don't want to do that when you're trying to move away from it. So try and put some space between you and your studying or your grade, and just maybe go out, have a walk, or sit and chill with your friends, and just take a break from studying whilst you are dealing with that grade. So tip number 2 is to look at your feedback very carefully. So a lot of people will just skim over all of the feedback that their teacher has written and go straight to the grade or the mark. What you really want to do is look at all of the small annotations that your teacher has made throughout your assessment and the main feedback at the end, because this is where you will be able to identify where it didn't go right and where it did go right, and you need to try and focus on the things that did go right whilst acknowledging the things that didn't. So I have a big list of all of my teacher feedback, both positives and negatives, so I can always keep looking back and think, oh well, I haven't done that, and I was told that I didn't do that in my last essay, so I'll put it into this one. And that is a really helpful way to also improve your grade as well as to deal with your grade. So tip number 3, which is arguably the most important thing to do when you get a bad grade, is to talk to your teachers about it. So it may be that your feedback wasn't as in-depth as you may have wanted, or you might just want to discuss your grade with your teacher. Maybe you were slightly confused about how you got that mark, or just looking for further things to be able to improve. So please go and talk to your teachers about it. They are there to help, and they would rather you go and talk to them about it than just sit and wonder what went wrong if you don't specifically know. And hopefully they will be able to sit down, go through your assessment, and really help you improve that grade, as well as help to understand why you were given that specific grade. So tip number 4 is not to necessarily do with dealing with your grade, but how to improve it. So you want to look at your study methods and see if they are effective, because it may be that you didn't fully understand the topic, which is why you got a bad grade, or it may be that you didn't necessarily know how to write the essay that was in your assessment, or there's a multitude of things that could have gone wrong at the studying stage, not necessarily the exam stage. So go through your revision methods and be really critical and think, is this actually helping, or could I switch it out for something that is more helpful? So you may find that instead of writing out pages and pages of notes, that it is more beneficial for you to just write flashcards. And I have a video about my study methods that I will link up here if you are struggling with what you can switch it out for. So the final tip is to not let this bad grade hold you back from achieving. So I know it can be really difficult to not get hung up on that one bad grade, especially if you know that that bad grade is not something that you usually do. You may be a straight A student and got a C. So you really want to try and put it behind you as much as you can and just focus on what is ahead. Because if you keep focusing on that bad grade, then you may not be able to achieve that higher grades that you really want. And as I said at the beginning of the video, grades do not define your self-worth, okay? So even though it may seem like the be-all and end-all, it really isn't, and there are more important things to focus on than just your grade. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it and you can implement some of these tips into your own methods of dealing with a bad grade. So again, thanks for watching and I will see you guys next time. Bye!